As children, we question the world around us. We learn, we accept, and gradually we lose our capacity for wonder. But some do not. The explorers, the seekers of truth. It is these pioneers who define the future of mankind.
The others, they're done. No amount of money's gonna get them through those mountains.
The lost city's up there, somewhere.
That's gonna be a hell of a climb.
I'm not turning back.
Finally, after a long wait, we have another chance to catch up with Lara after Crystal Dynamics reintroduced a far more vulnerable heroine in the well-received, both critically and commercially, 2013 reboot. This was introduced to a further audience with its 2014 Definitive Edition release that only further cemented the new direction Lara had taken was the correct one, creating a strong foundation, not coincidentally the name of the team's own engine that is the centre of both games, for Crystal Dynamics to build upon that with a sequel. And we have just that thanks to the team's hard work, technical prowess and concentrating on a single launch platform. Xbox One owners are treated to an impressive and expanded adventure that builds upon its core elements but brings much more to the party. But Lara is not alone in this new release on platforms, as Nixxes Software have also been hard at work creating a last gen version for the Xbox 360. So be on the lookout for that also to be covered here within the game's multitudinous treasures. So as we see Lara rise once more, we can instead delve into the depths to explore just what the team have delivered here across both platforms and at what, if any, cost that last gen version release has had on the overall presentation. So let's dive in. First up are the all-important metrics, and the pixel allocation worries can be laid aside as the game across action runs at a fully native 1920 by 1080p resolution. This presents the game with a clean 1:1 pixel mapping on a 1080p display and helps the game deliver some breathtaking scenery, shots and sequences, allowing the art and design team to bring the action to life in the most impressive showing yet seen in a Tomb Raider game. With Lara's tale spanning the globe hunting for truth and the occasional raided tomb, it has allowed a myriad of locales and choices that not only shows off the level design, mix of puzzles, but also the versatility within Crystal's own foundation engine. From storm-lashed outposts, sun-drenched rocks to snow-swamped mountains complete with tessellated snow mesh deformation, as I talked about in my preview early in the summer. It really is both an exciting journey as much as a technically accomplished one. This comes from its mixture of pre-rendered sequences within the real-time gameplay, adding to its assault on your eyeballs. This is by no means a new technique, with Rise and Uncharted games amongst others also using similar techniques that mixes well within the in-game visuals, and again here contributing to such an impressive showing that would not look out of place in the latest Bond movie. Time and time again it sets up great set pieces that, although are not outside the standard confines of its linear action premise, are nonetheless exciting, and clear wow moments happen regularly throughout the campaign that never cease to impress you and even call others to show them off. In gameplay, we now see the fruits of the procedural animation system first seen in the last game, and now improved with a vaster range of sets that all blend together much better than before. Along with offering up a much more natural mixture in motion, this includes much nicer contextual animations, from wringing her hair when climbing out of water to reaching out at nearby walls and rocks as she wanders past, further enhancing its organic feel. This includes the physics system improved in the last version, which includes inverse kinematics that handle the joint interaction within the world, a vital ingredient in such a rugged world that Lara and co inhabit. And she shakes these moves throughout play, from scrambling up rock faces, losing grips, slipping while running, leaping or in combat. The range and almost seamless blending and randomised sets and speeds used creates a far more convincing actress in play, so you feel every impact, wince at every moment, and are fully invested in keeping her as safe and in one piece as possible. A tough job, as that girl is fearless.
Just you and me.
The game's engine and sheer mesmerising beauty, along with such a talented animation team, combine with this great technology to create arguably some of the best cinematics yet seen this generation. And yes, they are all real time and running on the Xbox One. A small concession is made from the game's in-play native 1080 display, just dropping down to a 1440 by 1080 display, meaning only the horizontal image has any upscaled artifacts showing. Now this is only a 25% reduction in sheer pixel count and still runs at the same 30 FPS target of the game, and each is well received as the engine effortlessly glides into these and back into gameplay with no horrible and emerging killing black screens or loading screens present. This small price is well worth the cost when you see these scenes in action, as they are absolutely incredible. The exquisite use of subsurface scattering on the skin of all characters aids greatly in its pre-rendered looks, allowing the light to penetrate through skin whilst dispersing under the layers as in real life, through hair and cloth, with a convincing Fresnel calculation within its PBR based pipeline that runs throughout the game with some varying degrees of success, but far more accurate and realised in these cinematics, which I will touch on shortly. We may see this improved in later showings from the engine, but overall it delivers some impressive visuals, and this is only expanded further with its HDR lighting system allowing the full spectrum to be used. Tone mapping contrast as your eyes correct itself from dark into light. This is used to great effect in the game to deliver some of its vistas. The system is very well realised within its locations, and this is where it impresses the most. What really is a generational leap though is the bone and rig animation system used. The combination of blend shapes and high bone count rigs along with its MOVA motion capture system really excels here, and at times you could convince people you are watching a CGI movie rather than playing a video game. As I covered in my earlier preview, this is a fluorescent paint system that allows the camera to capture the minute details of the actor's performance and turn these into key information that the animators and riggers can use to deliver such a lifelike delivery. But what I absolutely love is the muscle and skin deformation system in use here. It truly is a step up from most other animation systems, bar a few exceptions, and we are looking at first party studios or exclusive only here. Remember, this is a multi-platform timed exclusive, and one of the reasons it's made it into my top 10 visually impressive games list earlier this year, and in person it delivers that and more. You can see as the neck and more specifically muscles underneath move as Lara speaks, subtle facial expressions, rapid blinking, bloodshot eyes which include the parallax depth, eyebrow raises, even the pupil constriction and dilation when hit by light or to express emotion in a scene. Lara is the most loved and lavish with this attention, which includes the improved TressFX or pure hair tech that was a joint development with Crystal Dynamics and AMD, and will be later seen in anger with the forthcoming Deus Ex, again the PC version handled by Nix's software. But here Lara has her own hairstylist residing in a compute shader running on the GPU that handles each hair strands and movement along with light volume, penetration and interaction, including physics from movement, wind and debris. Snow collects on her hair along with clothes. The decal work in the game is again impressively realised, allowing skin and cloths to show blood, sweat, dirt and water within any combination, which allows the adventure to leave its impression on Lara in more ways than one. The system also uses a LOD system to reduce its strand splines when further away within the frustum, and this can be seen here in gameplay, adding more strands as I move in, but in the real-time sequences it is of a vastly greater density and physics lighting calculation along with its own anti-aliasing. It can be the cause of some dips in the cutscenes. But damn, it looks good, and whatever conditioner Lara is using, it must be of industrial strength.
A divine source.
Whatever it is, it's good stuff. The incredible skin and bone system carries over to the in-game animations with seamless skin deforming over the joints interconnected mesh that successfully shows muscle movement under skin as she stretches for a ledge or runs again, and works very well. In fact, the entire animation system as a whole is one of the game's high points, as you spend a great deal of time staring at the main character while she vaults, swims, swipes, swings, leaps, shoots and dives, so it has to be of a high level. Enemies are also treated with a good range of both moveset assets and keyframes with a high animation sample rate, which is only slightly reduced in its presentation by some heavy clipping through scenery and location centering as you move, and get pulled by an invisible force into a spot. But this game is by no means the only one guilty of this, and is rarely an issue, but as I say, it can reduce some impressive presentation. Another minor niggle is the fact that you can't free fire from behind cover, you have to aim down the sights, and because I play on the hardest difficulty, this can make some of the firefights more difficult than they probably should be. On another negative is the underwater swimming looks great, complete with the in-game's bokeh edged off, now distorting the surface view, but while swimming on the surface, Lara can seem a little disconnected from the water and does not convince as well, and only stands out due to the high standards elsewhere in the game. Which brings us nicely onto another high point in the game, lighting, which it uses impeccably to enhance scene, set pieces and location alike, along with the cinematics. Sporting an image-based lighting system IBL that has probes dotted around the levels at fixed points to capture a detailed view of the surrounding area. Imagine a panoramic photo from all angles, say. I mentioned this in my Horizon preview from the great work over at Guerrilla Games. Now this is not a new technique, as I say, Shadowfall, The Witcher 3, Far Cry 3 amongst others have used this in various guises, and many upcoming games will also, like the forthcoming Quantum Break. In conjunction with its own ambient occlusion solution, the team have named BTAO, Broad Temporal Ambient Occlusion, and also stated superior in both performance and quality to HBAO. Shadow maps are also calculated using sample distribution maps, as we saw in the Order 1886, enabling edge bleeding, providing a smoother gradient of higher map quality dependent on camera distance. All this benefits the entire lighting model and presentation, complementing the IBL, enabling indirect light to become part of the game's visual display. This works wonderfully here. By using these light probes, it can emulate this bounce of global illumination across each area in the scene, like the blue reflection of the ice here on Lara's jacket, which looks great as the ambient light bounces off the caves and her, then dissipates as she walks out into the open space. It allows light bleed through cloth or sun to cascade and bounce within a cave. The blue light here within this tomb, along with its direction shadow cast, looks superb, and it's these kind of improvements this generation and lighting models can bring. But this works equally as well in more open areas, as seen here with the snowy mountains drenched in a blood red from the signal flare, or the volumetric light cascade through the trees, complete with depth aware particle snow that even collects on you. The game packs in such a visceral and impactful punch, it can at times knock you out. And that is a good time to take a well-earned break from exploring to tell you that I've actually split the video into two, and there's also a last gen version Lara covering that and the Xbox One version, along with the performance metrics of both, which you can check out, which covers more detail of both this and the PBR work across the game. I wanted to keep this one tight and cover just the game on the Xbox One, so please check that out when you get the time. It's had just as much love as this one. Overall, Crystal Dynamics have delivered an impeccable display here, and a very impressive one, with Tomb Raider and Lara herself being a high point on the Xbox One, and I'm sure more machines next year. I can't wait to see more from the team, and hopefully even more from the engine. As always, I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this. If you did, then please hit the like and, more importantly, the subscribe button, as it means a lot to me and it helps me greatly, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you that does. And I'm sure many of you will be looking to pick this up either soon or around the Christmas time. It may be a decent deal with an Xbox One yourself. All I can say is you'll be impressed. As always, you guys and girls take care, and I'll see you very soon on the next one.
Come and try! Come on!
spotted! Let's end this!